This is November 11th, year of our Lord 2019. It's Monday. It's Veterans Day. So Julia, Johnny, and Sawyer, we have a very short time with you today. But thankfully, what we're going to do today is just piggybacking off what we did last week. So if you can draw your minds into math right now and focus for this very short time, then you won't have much work. Ready? This to recall what we did last week. If I have two like bases, the key is the bases have to be the same. Are the bases the same here?
Yes.
They're both A's. If I'm multiplying those together, what do I do with the exponents, Elise? I add them. So everybody is okay with this being A to the fifth, say amen.
Amen.
That's pretty simple, isn't it? So what would this be? A to the fifth times A squared, Dominic. A to the seventh. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Now, the opposite of multiplication is? The opposite of addition is?
Subtraction.
So if I have A to the fifth divided by A squared, I'm going to subtract the exponents. I'm going to get A to the third. So what we did Friday, I think came pretty easily, and we're just continuing that today. What's today's lesson that starts on 201? You'll be able to read it later. You don't have to open your book yet. Just follow along here. If I have, same situation, if I have A to the second divided by A to the fifth, I have a problem. Because we said when we divide, we subtract exponents. So you all were very good with 5 minus 2, 8 cubed. Now what? You can't take 5 from 2. At least you thought that until your upper elementary years. You thought, you can't do that. That's impossible. And you found out that there are such things in the real negative numbers that you can do that. But what would that look like? That would look like this. A to the negative 3. You still with me? What's 2 minus 5? Negative 3. Now, you can't write an answer. That doesn't make sense. A to the negative 3, right? Guess what A to the negative 3 is? Watch how you fix it. It is 1 over A cubed. Okay, I might not have full time to explain that here yet. Your book and the examples do. Hopefully I have time. But I'm going to keep going. Look, A to the negative 3 is actually 1 over A cubed. What's the simple rule? I mean, I know you're looking at it like it's weird, but what do you think they did? If you're not sure yet, I'll give you another one. X divided by X cubed. Raise your hand if you know what the answer would be. Yeah. What's the exponent in this top X? It's not written because it's understood to be 1. What's 1 minus 3, Kiara? Okay, so the answer to this would be X to the negative 2. What? What am I going to write? 1 over X squared. What if this happens? What if I get N squared over N squared? What do I do with the exponents, Seth? When I divide, what do I do with the exponents? Wait, let me remind you. I have to have like bases. Seth, what do I do with these exponents? What's 2 minus 2?
0.
So that is N to the 0 power, which equals?
N. 1 over.
Pretend this didn't exist. What's the answer to that right there? N squared divided by N squared. Anything divided by itself, Sydney, equals 1. So this one, look, this one shouldn't need a whole lot of mathematical explanation for you. Anything divided by itself equals, what's 100 divided by 100? What's a billion divided by a billion?
1.
What's N divided by N?
1.
What's N squared divided by N squared? So when you have a situation where you subtract the exponents and you get a 0, anything then, Kara, anything to the 0 power will always equal 1. Anything to the 0 power. Does that make sense? 1 million to the 0 power. What's it equal? 1. Has everybody got that? And as far as working with exponents, when you subtract and get 0, the answer is going to be 1. So, how do we get there? I got a couple minutes, I guess. Go to page 201. And in the middle of page 201, they try to show you the mathematical rationale for, and I hope you understand it, for x to the negative 2 becoming 1 over x squared. See what they did in the middle of page 201? They have x to the 5th divided by x to the 7th. What's 5 minus 7? Negative 2. Look what they did. You've got a fraction there of 5 x's. I don't know if I should have to rewrite it because it's right there in the middle of the book on page 201. But they have x to the 5th written like this. Everybody see that in the middle of 201? Yeah. They have x to the 7th written like this. Raise your hand if that doesn't make sense. Is this x to the 5th? X times x times x times x times x. Is this x to the 7th? X times x times x times x times x times x times x. Okay, what would you do if you had x to the 5th over x to the 7th? You would subtract the exponents, right? And you would get x to the negative 2. So watch this. Remember what you can do when you have a fraction. These things cancel each other out. And what are you left with? All of these become 1 over 1, right? X over x, 1 over 1. This all equals up top 1. And what do you have left at the bottom?
2x.
X squared. So the math, at first you're looking at that like, how does that even make sense mathematically? And now you see it makes perfect sense mathematically. If you write it out, x to the 5th over x to the 7th, you end up with, after you cancel all these, because everything here gets canceled becomes a 1 over x squared. Show me you know, and all you have to do for homework, and you only have 2 minutes, but all you have to do is numbers 1 through 8, 202. Bottom of 202, 1 through 8. And you thought time was going to stop.
Yeah.
You hoped?
I didn't.
No, you didn't hope that, because look, now we got a whole lesson done in a very short period of time. You only got to do 8 problems for homework, and we'll still be on schedule for you to know what you need to know going into Algebra 1 and high school, where it really counts. Then you understand, you'll start to understand how you're actually making money going to school. Yes. It's deferred. You're not going to get it till later. Whether it comes in the form of not having hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt because your ACT scores are so high that you don't have to go in debt like a lot of your peers will when they go to college. Or you're so smart that you get paid to go to college. Some people actually get paid to go to college. I told the 5th graders earlier, Mrs. Vogel, if you know who she is, that works with tutors them. I was actually her 5th grade teacher, but when she went to YSU her first year, with her scholarships and her ACT score, she actually got paid to go to college. By the time, Mrs. Vogel that works with. You call that what? No, it was not luck. It was accumulating because of her grades and her ACT scores. She accumulated so many scholarships. By the time she paid YSU and she lived there, there was money left over. So you might not think you're getting paid to go to school, but if you are seeking excellence and you achieve excellence and you're getting to the age you got to start thinking about it, it really counts. You're making money. See you tomorrow. I believe the test is scheduled for Friday. We'll hope you still get there. 1 through 8, 202.